China is seeking to conduct vaccine trials in the Philippines. The DOST hopes that more firms who have expressed similar interest would actually submit a formal application. Greg Gregorio has the details.
Clover Biopharmaceuticals joins 3 other manufacturers seeking to conduct vaccine trials in the Philippines. It has submitted its application to the Subtechnical Working Group on COVID-19 vaccine development to hold late-stage clinical trials here. Other applications up for review are those from Sinovac, Gamaleya Research Institute, and Johnson & Johnson's. Sinovac was the first to secure a positive evaluation from the Science and Technology Department's Vaccine Expert Panel. It has a pending evaluation from the Ethics Review Board and a parallel technical evaluation from the Food and Drug Administration. FDA Director General Eric Dominguez says their decision may be released in 2 weeks, but the finality still depends on the ethics review findings. As for Russia's Gamaleya, the VEP is still looking into its candidate Sputnik 5. It has also submitted an application to the World Health Organization for pre-qualification. The FDA takes this as good news, but clarified that this may not affect the estimated time for the availability of a registered vaccine.
If they do undergo WHO pre-qualification, that means that they go to a very stringent regulatory evaluation. Because if it does get WHO pre-qualification, then that will make it eligible to apply for us for a certificate of product registration here in the Philippines.
Meanwhile, DOST Secretary Fortunato de la Peña earlier announced that a biotech company from Australia has expressed intentions to conduct clinical trial phase 3 in the country.
They're interested in making this available in the Philippines through one, possibility of clinical trials, and number 2, partnering with a local manufacturing company to scale production. But of course, that is still going to be discussed. Wala pang negotiation na nangyari.
Montoya said several other manufacturers have inquired with the government. They just hope that deals will materialize. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
Still on COVID-19 vaccines, the IATF has created a task force to ensure efficient deployment once these become available. PALA spokesperson Harry Roque said the COVID-19 immunization program will be under the Department of Health and will ensure that the initial target of 20 million people, including healthcare workers, will be inoculated. This comes as COVID-19 cases in the country inch closer to the 380,000 mark, with 2,000 new infections reported today. The virus claimed the lives of 38 patients in the past 24 hours, pushing the death toll to more than 7,100. Some 330,000, meanwhile, have gotten better from the disease, with over 600 new recoveries recorded today. Across the globe, infections rose by more than 500,000 on Wednesday. That's the highest worldwide one-day increase. The global case tally now stands at about 44.7 million, according to Reuters. Comelec says it's considering extending voting hours in the 2022 elections to decongest polling precincts. Comelec spokesperson James Jimenez told the chiefs that it is possible for voting to take 2 days, especially with COVID-19 measures in place. He also urged politicians and parties to be proactive in helping to contain the spread of COVID-19 once the campaign season begins. The poll body had earlier advised politicians to consider holding campaigns online. Jimenez said those who want to vote in the 2022 elections can still register until September 2021. However, he appealed to the public not to wait for the last few days to do so in order to avoid crowding registration offices. Jimenez also revealed that the poll body is looking to add new niches for their citizens' arm, including those who would monitor vote counting and even social media updates. We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. you're still watching One News Now, I'm Charles Lejano. Oriental Mindoro is now bracing for another typhoon just days after Quinta left its damaging impact on the province. To give us details, Justine Punsalang reports to us live from Calapan in Oriental Mindoro. Justine, good afternoon. How are the preparations of the LGU ongoing?
Charles, the provincial government of Oriental Mindoro continues to gear up as they face yet another typhoon in the image of a typhoon Rolly. The LGU is preparing rescue boats, life jackets, megaphones, chainsaws, and other necessary equipment for deployment. The Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office has informed all cities and municipalities to conduct preemptive evacuation. PDRMO head Vincent Gahol said they are expecting storm surges along the coastline, floodings near rivers, and even landslide by the mountains. Officials have also advised fishermen to park their bangkas on a higher ground after the waves brought by Quinta destroyed some vessels. The LGU is also encouraging residents to fortify the foundations of their houses to withstand the anticipated strong winds. The entire province of Oriental Mindoro is currently under state of calamity, which means they can now access their disaster funds. Gahol noted, however, that the money may not be enough to fully help them recover from the damaging effects of the sequential typhoons. Latest data show that the agriculture sector of the province has already suffered a 2.6 billion peso loss, while the structural damages in government properties have reached 92.8 million pesos. Charles, some of the fisher folks and business owners in Puerto Galera admitted that the COVID-19 pandemic as well as the typhoons has taken a toll on their finances. Their prayer now is for Typhoon Rolly to spare the province as they are still reeling from the effects of Typhoon Quinta. Charles?
That is our prayer as well. Thanks for that. Justine Punsalang reporting live from Oriental Mindoro. Typhoon Rolly continues to intensify before breaching the Philippine landmass. Pag-asa last spotted its eye at 1,100 kilometers east of Central Luzon with maximum sustained winds of 165 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 105 kph. Rolly is expected to make landfall over the Aurora, Quezon area between Sunday evening and Monday morning. For now, the typhoon will bring heavy rains over the Bicol region as well as in northern and central Luzon. Meanwhile, the NDRRMC reports that the death toll due to Typhoon Quinta has climbed to 22. There are also 39 injured, while 4 people are reported missing across 5 regions in the country. And the long lines for RFID installation greeted tollways on Friday, despite the Transportation Department's move to postpone the full implementation of cashless toll transactions. Meanwhile, authorities are warning against individuals who are selling fake RFID stickers online. Gerard de la Peña reports.
Cars lining up for the installation of RFID stickers in Cavite Expressway reached almost a kilometer on Friday. This despite the move of the Transportation Department to push the deadline of the exclusive use of RFID for toll payments until December. But some motorists are not aware of the changes.
Inabot kami ng 1.5 hours.
Ngayon lang kasi kailangan na ng RFID.
The Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation will soon launch an online facility where motorists can register and avail of RFID stickers. Tollway companies are warning against individuals selling RFID stickers online for as much as 900 pesos. It is supposed to be given out for free, and a motorist only needs to pay for an initial load of 200 pesos. The NX Corporation said they don't have any authorized resellers.
It becomes a headache for the customer if he bought it from a reseller and the numbers and the registration does not add up. So it becomes a problem also for the other motorists in the toll lane.
Despite the extension, the DOTR has urged motorists to claim their RFID stickers as soon as they can.
Pagka magpipilit kang pumasok dun sa expressway na wala kang RFID, and then you will obstruct yung public flow dahil hindi ka makakapasok. So that would be a violation already. So you might be cited for yung disregarding traffic sign or obstruction of traffic.
The Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation is also gearing up for the expected deluge of motorists going out of Metro Manila. Vehicular volume may not be as heavy as last year, but Kimbo said Many people will spend the long weekend visiting their families in nearby provinces. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
All of the games at the PBA bubble in New Clark City are postponed starting today. The league made the announcement after the interagency task force recommended calling off the games to ensure the integrity and safety of the bubble. The PBA says games will only resume after new protocols proposed by the IATF and the Health Department are in place. Recall that a player from Blackwater Elite and a referee were recently tagged as suspect cases after obtaining positive swab test results. However, both of them tested negative in confirmatory antigen and RT-PCR tests. In world news, Reuters reports that more than 80 million have already voted in the U.S. presidential elections. The number provided by the University of Florida sets the stage for the highest early voter turnout in over a century. Most of the voters have cast their ballots by mail or at early in-person polling sites across the country. Presidential candidates Donald Trump and Joe Biden are now set to hold rallies across battleground states. Trump, the Republican incumbent, is scheduled to campaign in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota on Friday, while Biden, his Democratic challenger, has planned stops in Wisconsin, Minnesota, as well as Iowa. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.